So this weekend, Ryan Coogler's newest movie, Sinners, comes out. Should you go check it out? Let's talk about it. Hey Kernel, so last night I got the chance to go see Sinners. I'm going to talk about all the things I thought about it, what I thought was great, what I thought wasn't. Spoiler alert, there weren't that many things that I did not like about the movie. It's hard to even pinpoint one. So right before we kind of dive in, be sure to check out all my other movie reviews if you guys are into this kind of thing. I do these weekly with whatever movie is coming out that week. So let's dive in. So the plot of the movie is somewhat simple. It revolves around these two brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, and they are from Mississippi, as I understand, and at some point in their life they moved to Chicago to kind of be involved with like Al Capone and stuff, but eventually they end up moving back, and that's when this movie starts, when they move back and they're ready to start up this whole new business and just get their lives moving on their own again, right? They spent all this time getting this big get together ready, and they have this big party, you know, luau kind of thing, right? When they add the fiction side of this in with vampires, and these vampires kind of are picking off their party members one by one once they go outside, until they are pretty much just waiting for everybody to come out, and it almost becomes like a can you survive the night type movie. First thing I want to talk about is the acting in this movie, because it is phenomenal, especially for Michael B. Jordan. Obviously he plays the two twins, and while they do have similar backgrounds and like attitudes about them, they both act very differently. Like the one twin is very outgoing and like laid back, and I don't want to say it, but like he smiles a lot. He's just a little bit more goofy than the other one. Like he's trying to have fun. While the other one, I think the other one, Smoke, is trying to make money. He's a businessman. He cares about the facts and just the business of it all, right? He's a money man. And it's cool seeing Michael B. Jordan play each of those characters. At times in this movie, I forgot that they were completely the same person. Like I thought that, I'm like thinking to myself, oh yeah, those are two different characters. No, it's the same person. The second person I want to talk about with acting is Little Sammy, because you know, he starts off in the movie pretty good. Like you think he's gonna be like a normal character, and then you get to that party later where he's singing and he just goes off. I really like the little younger brother vibe that he gives off, and obviously he's the only one out of that whole thing to make it out alive, other than like two of the vampires. I also liked how they did this little thing at the end where he was still alive, and the one character that turned into a vampire, I think whatever Michael B. Jordan character turned into a vampire, and Hailee Steinfeld, they end up visiting him when he was like a 90-year-old man. And I thought that was pretty cool. Talking about some of the cinematics, a lot of the shots of like the sunset or just like the fields and everything, I thought looked really good. I thought it set the tone for Mississippi. I thought it just did a really good job, especially when the music would play over it. It just did such a good job of making you feel like this was a thought out movie. Another kind of cinematic thing I liked in this movie was once they're in that building, the darkness of the woods, you can barely even see anything past the realm of the light that is outside that building. And they use this really well, because like with the light, the little twinkles that they have in everyone's eyes, it makes it very creepy to see those eyes like all around the woods. Yeah, it's very well done cinematically. So let's talk probably about the best thing about this movie, or at least close to the best thing, which is the writing, because the writing is phenomenal. The whole first act of this movie is literally just about prepping for this little party. Obviously it's about getting to know the characters as well, but it plays as this kind of like prelude to the big party, the big centerpiece of this movie. And it's just the twins going up to different people, not bribing them necessarily, but offering them money to play for their event, or you know, be a guard for their event, or sell food at their event, or whatever it may be, right? And just those little interactions help you kind of define the world that they're living in, because it's like if it was just to have the party, and that like it wouldn't be, the connections wouldn't be as close. So when they do end up like fighting these vampires later on, you feel those connections to those people, and I really liked that. It also allows you to help like understand some of the past, because a lot of the characters like recognize them from their youth, and that was pretty cool too. One of the things that I was talking about to my girlfriend after was that the vampires in this movie are actually quite convincing. Like they kind of go on this whole tangent about, oh, well, you know, you guys just want to be free, you guys are in pain. And it's actually quite true, because there's a whole, like, you know, racist clan in this movie that, like, was planning on going and killing all of them at this joint. And the vampires are like, no, like, we should all be, like, together. And they actually offer, like, quite a good, like, offer. And it's, like, I was sitting there in my seat at moments like, this is kind of like a pretty good, like, convincing, like, if someone was trying to convince me to become a vampire, this would be the way to do it. And I just thought that, like, writing wise, it was a really good way to kind of make you feel for the so-called villain of this movie. The final thing I want to mention is just this little kind of thing I thought about at the end of the movie, where these, you know, these racist guys come up, and even though, you know, Michael B. Jordan and his brother paid for this building, they came back and tried to, like, show him up, right? Well, Michael B. Jordan ends up killing them, the one that's alive at least, Smoke. And he ends up killing them with a gun and all that stuff, but it kind of raises the question, like, how far are you willing to go for your freedom, right? Because his brother and everybody else was, like, although they didn't necessarily choose it, they wanted to become vampires. They were okay, you know, they're okay with that. And it's about Michael B. Jordan, like, willing to stay human, and with those, you know, suffering things of humanity and death and just immortality, you know, not having immortality, right? But also, like, it's just kind of like a weird mix. And I thought it was an interesting kind of, like, question that isn't really asked, it's just kind of, like, implied. So going into probably my favorite thing about the movie is just the music. The whole way through, it is quite entertaining, it's catchy, and they even, like, do this whole, like, lore thing about it, right? And the lore thing is that, like, it pierces the veil, it's the whole reason the vampires come in the first place, and just that whole, and they also do this thing where, like, I didn't quite understand it at first, but eventually I got it. It's like the past ancestors and the future ancestors are, like, able to mix for, like, the time being when he's playing that music. That sequence is probably not only the best in the movie, but, like, one of the best, like, pieces in the last decade. Like, that part where the music's playing and you see all these different people from different ages coming around, that was awesome. It was really cool. Just the music that they play outside of that, and then they even have, like, the vampires get their own one. So it was a very catchy, and then just mixed so well with the writing. Phenomenal. So yeah, guys, that is my review for Sinners. This is like a third, fourth time that Ryan Coogler has just impressed everyone with his movie making skills. He knows what he's doing, and I would trust him. I would trust him with whatever movie series they want to give him next. I mean, he nailed Black Panther, he nailed Creed. I mean, just give the man what he wants at this point. He knows what he is doing. So let me know what you guys all thought about Sinners, if you're planning on seeing it this weekend, and or if you've already seen it, like, you know, where you would kind of rank this in the other Ryan Coogler movies. I'd have to really think about it for a second. But I know it's definitely not last. So let me know what you guys thought about the movie, and I will see you guys next week, or this Sunday, for The Last of Us Part 2, Episode 2. Peace, Kernels.